Hey.
Episode what? 40? Somewhere around.
You made it to 40.
36.
Okay.
No, we've been at 36 a long time. We've definitely posted 35 like 4 times.
No, we did not.
Oh.
This is 36.
I'm trans.
This is 37. This is 37.
Oh,
Episode 37.
So welcome to the show. We're going to bring our descendant of lesbians, a fake Frenchman, a double F word, if you call it, as I call them, the great Dan DePriel.
Dan DePriel.
Here he is, folks. Give it up for him.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
You're, wait.
The on-time and medium Dan DePriel.
Here to shoot the news and talk the shit, folks.
Shoot the shit? Yeah, and talk the
We're
news.
going to shoot the blacks and make the news, folks.
Shoot the blacks for profit of Jews, folks. Here we go.
Oh, no. Okay,
A lot of times that is the news. A lot of weeks that
that's
is
all
about
the
2/3 of our
Correct.
topics.
That's
yeah.
a great point.
Well, I'll tell you what. Well, actually, I can't say if she's the president, then I'll go to jail if I say I was going to make a death wish upon.
Make it now while you still can.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll
She's
have
not
to.
the president. She's only the nomination.
Yeah,
She's
not,
still the VP.
She's going to be. Yeah, I guess so.
So technically, you'd still be threatening a public official.
Right. All I'm saying is, if it's talking, like, if one of them had to get shot, the wrong one got shot.
Well,
Should have been Medina. No. No, I love her family reunion.
did
Medina.
you catch any of the DNC?
Yeah, I watched some of it. I watched the Kamala's speech. That was
Both
good.
of these parties should be fucking ashamed with how they make this into like a fucking award shit Oscar
Yeah, it's a weird
performance.
It was never like that before. Though.
No,
It
no,
was
it's
never like
I
that
blame
before.
I blame Obama and Trump for that a lot. Obama
Yes.
wanted to be cool. Like before him, there were whenever there's a black guy who comes along, there are going to be a bunch of lame asses who try to copy him.
Yeah,
right.
They try to the white guys try to match the swag. That's what
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Obama was charismatic. I mean, listen, he killed a lot of fucking Syrian kids and no one cares. That's Riz, brother.
Yeah, that's real.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Now, he may be getting fucked in the ass by a man in a wig every night, but hey.
The Flint water thing where he faked sipping the Flint
Oh, yeah.
water. That was,
Yeah.
That was,
Yo, niggas be lying.
yeah, that was Riz.
Obama is a lot like Trump in that they are all
They're
like
both
personality.
niggers. No, he's going to bleep that.
Yeah,
Dan-
they're all personality and like light on like policy. Like once you get past like not even the ACA, just like the other things the ACA did to insurance, like they made them insure people.
Yeah.
That's big. But other than that, he didn't really do anything. The other most
Yeah.
significant thing he did was drone strike weddings.
Yeah.
So I think Trump is the
And
same
gay
way.
marriage.
He did the tax cuts. He did a half-assed version of the wall. But if you like Trump, just like the people that like Obama, like love them, and they're the only two presidents with like actual merch.
And,
Yeah.
and then
Obama has
yeah.
those big noses you could wear and those white and black striped shirts like for prisoner. But
There was Obama merch. I remember it was
I- no,
not
there
as
was,
big as
yeah.
Trump, but it was like people were wearing Obama shit.
and they
I
served
had
those
an
Bill
Obama
Clinton
shirt.
whistles.
I had no Obama.
Bill Clinton just gave his name to those
Yeah,
whistles. They already existed.
When I was a kid, I had a Obama, like a picture of Obama, and it said Obama in gold letters.
Really?
In the back it said, "Yes, we can."
But your Republican, your white Republican family put you in that?
My mom steals. She steals. Do you ever see those like white tin like boxes that you can put donations of clothes in?
Oh, yeah.
My mom steals from them.
That's awesome.
So it was
right,
one
cool.
of those. It was one of those shirts.
Okay,
And
cool,
I wore
cool.
it to a school dance. I got a lot of compliments on it.
Yeah,
I liked
yeah.
Obama because he was black.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, now that's
How
where
did
he
you
and I
feel about
always
that as a
differ.
Republican? Were you proud as a black guy and you
Oh,
hated
yeah.
him as a Republican, right?
No, I wasn't. Well, I was 8. I didn't really care.
Oh
about
yeah, you're
politics.
yeah.
You were
I always
8 when he
forget
was
how young you
elected?
are. Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Oh,
born
my
99,
God.
Yeah, but I remember like we used to go to a daycare. Me and my sister, we went to a daycare like around here.
Did you? I was looking around for it earlier.
I offered
we
Dan
took
a beer
couple.
earlier. I forgot to give it to him. I didn't even open mine.
That's okay.
Joe
Thank you.
Rogan says he forgot to give the one cook that killed himself,
Bourdain.
Bourdain. He forgot to give him a beer when he asked for one. He still regrets it to this day.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Obama's cook for a
No,
second.
no. Didn't Obama's cook just die or something? Like
He
that?
would. He died like swimming. He drowned.
Oh, he
You know.
Well, that's another thing. Speaking of the black community and swimming, like a lot of people stereotypically think Rodney King died in that beating, but he actually died in a way that's much more respectable to his culture. He overdosed on crack and drowned in a hot tub.
Yeah.
Is that true?
That's how Rodney King died.
Who was that one black guy on the Ottawa Senators that died? Phil
Ray Emery.
Ray Emery died. Yeah,
Yeah, he was a journey. I saw him play in Wilkes-Barre in like 2004.
Yeah.
He was
He drowned.
Yeah.
You would trade when I was in college. You would always trade for him, so you'd have a black guy on your hockey team in the NHL thing.
Oh yeah. I would play.
He was like your classic free agent to get on your team.
Oh yeah.
He was a journeyman goalie who was always really good. He was like, Fitzpatrick, the quarterback, right?
Yep.
He was like a little better version. Because he started a Stanley Cup for the Senators when when they were really good. In 2007, they lost, but there were a lot. The Senators had some really good players. Jason Spezza, whose brother just died of an opioid overdose.
Oh yeah, the Senators, a lot of great players. You got Lindsey Graham.
Yeah.
You got
Newt Gingrich.
Newt Gingrich, great classic player on the
Newt
Senators.
Gingrich, I heard some troubling things about the locker room, what he would say to Ray Emery.
If your wife gets cancer, just leave the bitch.
That's what I was saying. Those 08, like I kind of have nostalgia for those like mid 2000s, like 2000 to 2000 before Trump, because like there's politicians like Newt Gingrich and Santorum.
Yeah,
that's like nostalgic for me.
Santorum, I miss
fag.
the.
Oh,
Well,
they
I'm
all are.
the one thing you can give Santorum, whether or not you want to give it to him because now it's out of control, but he's the one who made it legal to do like IPAs and small batch brewing in Pennsylvania.
That's a big knock against him for me.
See, you might hate him for that, but
Yeah.
that's the reason why we have so many breweries and shit. Dare I say the reason I do 2/3 of the comedy that I do. He
Let's
certainly
kill him.
didn't found
That
comedy
bastard.
clubs.
That
Yeah.
bastard. No. I
Yeah, right. If you hate my comedy, which would be right if you saw it.
Dan's a great comic. You can see him all around. He gets booked in
No, you
Wilkes-Barre,
can't.
my hometown.
No, you can't.
I have to come and see you there. I don't want to do comedy up there.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't know.
Not
when I'm
that
gonna
I
get
wasn't
there
asking you
again.
for the, but like I never want to do comedy there. I don't, because I could probably bring a ton of people, but I just
Sure.
don't want to.
Do it up there.
I don't like people there. I really
Okay.
don't.
Yeah, I get that.
I could have been normal if born somewhere else.
I don't know if you were in Wilkes-Barre. I don't know there are many normal people up there.
That's what I'm saying. If
Yeah.
I were somewhere else, yeah, it's good. I like it because there's, the Bidens are from, Joe Biden was from there, and in the spirit of the area, he got his son addicted to heroin. But
He's
A
not
true
working
son of Scranton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not working at a pedigree warehouse. Stock.
Yeah,
stock.
they'll have
dog
fuckers.
food.
The politicians up there. This is the Wilkes-Barre Scranton. The offices lied to people into thinking it's a vibrant area because Creed would be on heroin in that fucking show.
Yeah.
That's all anyone does there is heroin. You get these goddamn politicians. They come up and they're like, "We brought all these great jobs to the area. Oh, new Adidas factory. The shifts 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. 4 days a week." 4 10-hour shifts overnight. Here you go. We brought jobs to the area. Here's your 17 an hour.
Yeah.
Suck my dick. Fuck you. Fuck that area. No wonder people do heroin. You work at the goddamn Chewy factory, and that's it.
We looking
This
for?
is yours, right?
Yeah, that's
Dan's,
mine.
yeah.
Yours is over there, above. Who is this, by the way?
That's
in this?
me.
No, I know that's you. That's Kirk Griffiths, but that
I always said he looks Indian.
who is
Luke.
the other person?
That's Luke,
That's
but it's
me.
weird that
It's
he's
both.
dressed
That's
as
also
me.
you.
Yeah.
It's weird
Oh.
he's dressed as me, and his friend drew that before. Well, he's my friend now too. We're trans, but he drew that before he met me. Isn't that
Oh,
weird?
That
Yeah.
is weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
it
that's
must
Luke.
be me, like countrified, with a Miller Lite hat, glasses.
Country
I
fun.
like it. It's like you have my style in that
Yeah,
picture.
yeah. And then like I have a dip can in my shirt pocket.
Okay.
He kind of gave you the tard lip there a little bit.
I kind of already have the. Oh, he did a little bit. Yeah, I just noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a little snarl.
Maybe Jimmy Humes, which this guy, you would like this guy, Dan. I found out recently that one of the guys who did the Kennedy autopsy was named James Humes. He like 40-something people said it was an entrance wound in the front of his head at the hospital. The head of neurosurgery at the Parkland Hospital. he must have just been wrong.
Yeah.
The head of neurosurgery, he was documented saying, "I saw the cerebellum tissue fall out of the back of his head onto the." He said that, and
Oh, the cerebellum tissue.
yeah,
I thought you meant like the.
Okay, put a period on that one.
You better cut
because
that.
I'll get DMs about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's been.
I
You
like-
won't get anything about
No,
it.
I just
would
float
get everything
through.
about it.
I like.
She's always been nice to me. She's not funny, but she's always been nice to
Just
me.
about every woman
Just
I've
just
seen.
bleep her name and leave the rest of this in. The women love when I talk
Yeah,
about.
Of course.
So the one day I posted, I got a lot of hate for this. The only thing I ever got pushback for was I posted Andre the Giant, and I said the women of Philadelphia comedy are just getting hotter and hotter.
And they weren't fans of that.
No, I actually got some messages
He
about
was a
that.
legend.
Oh wow.
You don't know Andre the Giant?
No. I didn't say who's that.
Oh, what'd you say?
I said, is that so?
Oh
Something like that.
yeah.
What
there
was
were
your pushback on that?
a bunch of emojis from like the women.
What
And then in
emojis?
person, they're like the eye roll.
the eye
I got
roll.
the thumbs down.
I was gonna say, do you ever get confronted at open mics
Very
about
rarely,
this shit, or do
very
they just give
rarely.
you a cold shoulder and
Some girl once after I said that on stage, and it wasn't somebody who messaged me. I'll tell you what it was off stage or off the show.
Sure.
It was,
Why tell him off show?
but she was on stage and she goes, well, like some woman got Anna or somebody got off, and she goes, oh my gosh, give it up for the great Anna again. Could you believe that there are some people who don't think the women in Philadelphia comedy are attractive? And I was right. You weren't there for that,
the call
nigga.
I
out
remember you
from
told
the
me about
stage.
it.
Yeah, I was right in the front row.
Oh,
And
you didn't mention the best call out from the stage. Otis was at Joel's, and he starts talking about, you ever just railed just a fat pig, like a fat, obese cow
You were on
pig
the stage?
woman?
I really said that?
Yeah, like a fat, obese, fat pig cow woman. It's like, bitch, you're a fucking fat cow. Like fucking fat pig cow women. You have no worth. Gets on stage, the host comes up. All right, get up for your next comic.
Oh no!
I was like, oh, that's the worst person to go after.
Oh no!
Yeah, it could have been. But I always get followed. I got followed there by once, and love what she's doing in Gaza, by the way.
She's wearing a bee suit and dancing in Gaza. That's worse than
She's like that Mexican guy in The Simpsons.
That's
you know?
worse than the fucking Strone. I really get
Yeah,
bombed
I'll
in
take
that.
my chances with Al Anwar.
I'm Al N-word. But she followed me. And this wasn't even really me. I think there were others that went up. Like Prophet was before me, I think.
Oh.
And she goes up and she's like, well, I'm sorry. I'm not going to talk about rape and gays. And it's like, you're raping our ears right now, and you're a fucking...
The only story I have about
32.
that is I performed with her, and I got off stage, and I was there with my girlfriend, and I leaned in to tell my girlfriend that she might like... It's like, she does a lot of, like, really weird stuff, some of which you've just brought up. And I didn't see any bee suit, so I leaned in and I told my girlfriend, like, you might like this next comic. As I was saying that, she came up and, like, was doing, like, a wander through the crowd thing, and she was like, this guy not listening to my set, doesn't care about me, just got off. And I was like, quite the opposite, actually. This is the one time you've been complimented.
Yeah, well...
It's funny how
that shows
they
that
just
Jews can be vindictive. Who would have thought?
I think people do that in comedy when they don't know people, especially when you're the type, and there's some people like this in the Philly scene, every scene really, but where it's like they're aggressive. I think the aggressive people kind of just by default kind of assume people don't like them.
Yeah, but
like the people that you know in the scene that everybody doesn't like, they all know it.
Knows it.
Okay,
I
well,
tell her. I no, she... So
there are people, there are names. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to lead
There are
that
tons
on
of people everyone hates in this scene.
Yeah.
I'll say them all.
Yeah,
Everybody
you should.
fucking knows that full of shit. Future guest on this show. No, yeah, okay. I don't. I mean, listen. There are a lot of fucking bullshitters in this scene. Nobody's.
There are
nice to
bullshitters in
anybody.
every scene, though.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is the
there's
one that you have
bullshitters
the
in every-
perspective on. but
yeah.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's
I
just
don't
as
think
different.
the Philly comedy scene is much different than any other comedy
It's not.
scene.
It's not.
Well, I mean, you lived in L.A., right?
I do. Oh yeah, I wasn't going to bring that up, but yeah, yeah. I used to live in L.A. It's different. It's very different there. Though.
Well, then you're gonna. Oh, I wouldn't
It's very different
understand.
there, though, you know.
I was actually in L.A. for about hour and 15 minutes at a layover.
Oh
this
yeah,
year.
you could have done an open mic at the airport.
Yeah.
Probably not. But
So is there so LA is a better scene than Philly? I mean, when you
it's
were there,
the difference is that it's a professional city, right? So you can get jobs there. You can't really get jobs in Philly there,
Yeah.
and that's why.
You can't get any. No, there are no working comedians in Philly.
Right.
No, and that's insane.
It
That
is
is
insane.
insane.
That
is
shows-
insane.
It's also the power of New York, right? If you got big enough in Philadelphia, what's keeping you from trying to do it in the big show? It's like
Yeah.
you're not stuck geographically.
Yeah.
If you
Right.
start to make money, like for instance, you brought up, I wouldn't be in this area. I would be in
No,
New York or
no,
LA
no, yeah.
because he has had enough success now where
Yeah,
I would be thinking about it. I'd be like,
He's
my
a fat
milestones.
loser. He's never going anywhere.
Well, I'm just talking about where they're at in their career. I would say, here are my milestones.
Nigga, he doesn't drive. He doesn't have a driver's license. He's pushing 30.
Well, you don't need that in New York, at least. I'll give him that. But
No,
yeah, he
but
wouldn't be able to do
he'd
it in
break
LA
the
without a
axles
car.
of taxis. I only
Hey,
hate
if
him.
Jay Yoder and I can take a
Yeah.
Prius up to Scranton together,
Wow.
anyone could ride in a car.
I just want it to be said. I only
We
made
did Whipping Boy, so we just make fun of him when we
Used to
can.
be me.
It used to be, yeah, but we were more
Maybe I
literal
should
with
start start doing that on the show. Maybe I should start going after.
I feel like
He's
if
useless.
if you talk shit on this podcast, you have the opportunity / risk of double talking shit because you will also possibly be covered on After Tonight with Tommy Afters.
Yeah, true. That's a good point.
In
That's
which
a
case,
great
then
point.
you are then rebroadcast to a whole new audience.
Everything I do is scrutinized by Tom. He hates that I go barefoot.
No one, no, he's not. Everybody hates that you go barefoot.
No.
I hate that you go barefoot. Combs hates that you go barefoot.
The episode you picked at your toes wasn't great, but the episodes, I don't mind the bare feet otherwise.
Luke hates when I do this.
Oh, don't do it.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't like that
You didn't
either.
pay
There's
for these
nothing wrong
mics.
with that. Yes, I did.
Oh, you did? All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought I
Whoa, look at me.
That's horrible.
That's fun. But yeah, Tommy Afters will take his crack at me as well, so you got to
and
be
it's
careful.
also like he's live, so you can get away with talking shit and it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
That guy just doesn't have a lot of character, I think.
Yeah,
I take it back. I love Tommy. I do.
it's a great show.
It is. It's
Oh
one of the
my
only
God.
podcasts I will actually watch.
Thanks.
Sick Ghouls is also one of them,
Yeah.
guys. Believe it or not, watching more than one episode of something, I consider listening to a
That's
podcast.
exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't listen to any of the Philly podcasts other than you guys. I listen to the Moots on the Boone.
Moots on the Boone. Yeah.
I listen to
That's
Tommy.
a podcast. I
No,
listen
Boots
to
on the
that.
Moon.
If it is, then I totally listen to it.
Boots on the Moon. It's Combs, Tay.
Mike Stanley. And
It's the
Pablo.
show. Yeah, it's the producers of the show. I've been there. I would like to go again now that it's not in like the scariest place I've
Yeah.
ever been to.
Oh my God, we were on that show together. You remember that?
You're all three of us.
Yeah,
were.
that's why I said it. That's why I said we. Yeah, but we were in that fucking hookah place. Dunbar sent that video. You and me walking. I was
The
hammered. that day.
quasi-legal weed distributor.
Yeah,
It
that-
was, I know.
No,
Got raided.
absolutely
Got
illegal.
raided.
Yeah.
That place was
absolutely
that place is a hookah lounge. Who the fucking is keeping hookah lounges in check other than or afloat?
Yeah.
They also sold like teriyaki spicy buffalo wings. It's like, well, what's more illegal? The fact you not having a food license or you smoking weed in here?
Yeah.
Like it's both. It's like bad at both ends.
Yeah,
I
and those
just-
guys have figured it out since, and it was right to book me off talent alone. But it was funny going up there and being like, "Hey guys, so I have a girlfriend," and it was a bunch of drug dealers ballsy enough to have started a storefront.
Yes,
and
yeah.
I was like, "Hey, anybody here in a relationship?" I said I love my girlfriend's pussy once.
Oh,
There you go.
And I
remember the fucking Sherman was on that? He got mad and started yelling,
Yeah.
yelling at the crowd. He's like, "All right, well, you guys don't fucking like my jokes, so here I'm going to tell another one."
He was going through.
Sorry, keep
I don't do
doubling.
that. I don't do that with my comedy. Whereas when I'm depressed, I take it out on the audience.
No.
Usually, you've seen it once in a while. It happened at 13 a couple times where I was in the middle of a set and it wasn't going well, and I was just like, I did the Larry David where I'm like, okay, and I just like
Yeah.
walk off 2 minutes in. I'm just like that's the only indication. I'll never stand up there on stage and be like you, bleh, because it reflects. Well, not only is it not funny, I feel like it makes comics feel bad for you.
the worst.
and I don't
was,
want to feel
At
bad.
Funniest one time this year there was a heckler. I think it was Joe G's first night, I think, and there was a heckler. No, it was his. Yeah, it was his first night, I think, and there was a heckler there, and David James, the host, goes like he was heckled like for like 3 times. So the first second he goes, "Hey, please be quiet." Second time he goes, "We are comics and we go on stage and we try to do it for your entertainment and you're ruining it. We work so hard to be up here." I'm like, "Oh, gee,
Yeah.
David
shut the
James
fuck
is as
up."
I would
funny as
hate
a
to
rape.
follow that.
No, I
would hate to follow
I
that.
hate anything like sucking
Yeah.
your own.
Well, that's why that cocksucker Joel, I hate him because I went on fucking. You remember with Desmond?
Not endorsed, despite the fact that Joel will say I said it anyway, but I don't endorse
Oh,
that.
actually maybe cut that for your sake. I don't want
You
you.
could
to
just, yeah. I mean, you probably have the best chance out of anyone of working.
I
that
cursed him
club.
out on Facebook when he booked me the week after, and I bombed.
I had one. That's hilarious.
So I
That's
think
How did you
hilarious.
know? How did you know he was bullshitting about putting me and the other guy that went on?
because it was Tom Levy. He goes, "Hey, I'll book those guys too." He goes, "Hey, I'll book Otis too." I'm like, "Oh, great! My buddy's gonna get shot. I'll book Tom." I go, "Oh, he's lying." Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Tom's who's
okay.
funny enough that he gave himself cancer.
Can I get a beer too? I was trying to.
Yeah, nigga.
Trying to be good, but you're gonna drink.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know what I did. I had one conversation with the guy, and he hates my guts.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a story of my life. Thank you for saying that I'm funny, but I don't. I managed to figure out ways to overcome my talent every single time.
Well, he should. If
We have
Joel,
a mutual friend in Sean Donnelly, who's one of the funniest working comics
did he move to
in the
LA?
world. No, what it was when I was like a first couple year open micer, I always was impressed by Sean. Sean would go to LA, and a lot of New York comics would go to LA, and they would be like fish out of watery, and they wouldn't be like super friendly, which I understand. You're, from the biggest comedy city. You're in a city that doesn't respect anything you've done there. It can be a little awkward. But Sean would come out, buy drinks for open micers, talk to you if you went up. Like, I remember I saw Sam Morril before anyone, he did one Conan thing, one 5
I don't even
minutes
know who that is.
on Conan.
He's a guy that has like a kind of a speech impediment. And
He's like a really tall, he kind of looks like Bert from Bert and Ernie, and he.
I gotta tell you, I can't. I don't. I'm so out of the loop. I don't know any of these guys, but I'm not.
He's a big comic. He's in the Normand vein.
I know them, and I hate all of them.
Norman fucking blows. I'm sorry, Wellborn, but Norman fucking
What
blows.
was your Morel story again?
The Morel story was I saw him at a show. He was supporting.
With the other guy. You said that.
It was in. Well, anyway, I saw Sam Morril in L.A. and he was kind of like awkward. Like he was like he didn't know what to do with me being like, hey, I saw you in Conan. I really like your stuff. Sean was like the opposite. I was like, hey man, I really. He was like, hey, what's your name? Let's get a drink. That's essentially the story I told Joel when he said he told me that I reminded him of Sean. And I was like, oh, that's funny because I know Sean. And that was all I did. I just shared that story and I walked away. And then he never, ever booked me. And then years later, Dan Sherman, of all people, told me that Joel would ask him, like, oh, who's funny in the suburbs? And Dan would say me and a couple of other people. And Joel would just dismiss us out of hand. And he just isn't interested in booking me for some reason. So I don't know. That's the story on that. It's just like I managed to put.
Joel is a dumb shit marketer. If he were smart, he would latch on. Like, Yoder's popular because of Yoder, but Joel should have. When Joel saw Yoder getting popular, he should like.
Well,
Yoder has outgrown Joel. Yoder doesn't need Joel.
Yoder works with Joel still, though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying Yoder doesn't need to.
Well, no, I don't think so, but I think he wants to. I think
right, but
they
he
had
the comedy class at Pottstown, which explains why the Pottstown scene is so budding with talent right now.
Wow. I'm just kind of surprised. I'm kind of surprised they have so many of those comics continue to do it because, in my experience, comedy class comics tend to get to the showcase and then hit a mic or two and be like, oh, I have way better things to do with my life than to sit there are 30 more people?
Yeah.
And they're not even going to be in the room when I go up? Only you'd have to be fucking insane to do this. And they leave early, which might be the smarter thing. But for some reason, maybe it's Jay's teaching ability, but they stay around. A lot of the graduates of his classes
Jay's
stick
a
around.
great person. Like,
I love Jay. He's one of
Jay.
my best friends. And
Despite all the jokes you make about him on the show, I absolutely love Jay.
Well, that's why you
love
can
Jay.
make jokes about him.
And he knows that about you guys too, and me as well. You are the old school guys. Like if you're mocking someone, unless it's some of the people that you just mocked earlier, you really love them. Like the harder you bust somebody's balls, usually means
I don't even bust
the more
Jay's
you like
balls that hard. I love the guy.
But
But he could start his if he had no kids and had the time to do it, he could definitely start his own place and be far more successful than Joel.
He needs the kids though. I think Jay's kids and his being such a like you might not like him, but Tim Walls-esque father. I get
What, he turns
Jay
trans?
Yoder vibes from Tim Walls. It's just wholesome. You hate him, I know, but it's just
no, I don't. I mean, I'm thinking of something else.
fucked up. It's fucked up.
That's gonna get.
Jay is cool though, because one time I was talking and sincerely about his daughters, and I was trying to differentiate them, and I said, your normal daughter, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm so sorry. He was like, nah, it's okay, I get it. He's cool. He understands when I'm an idiot. And
I was actually kind of hurt because Jay was having somebody teach the non-normal daughter the piano, and I said, Jay, why didn't you have me do it? And he goes, oh, I don't know, I didn't even think of it, but I thought, what would make me qualified to teach an autistic girl?
I just now understand your point you're coming through. I just got that now. You said it a couple months ago.
That's literally all I deal with in life.
Yeah.
No, Jay's a wonderful, wonderful human being. But yeah, somebody it's weird. Because I'm a hater, born hater. That's one of the things we bond on is just our absolute burning hatred of the world. But Jay is very successful, and he's one of the few people that it's fun because I could be happy for his success.
We saw his. I think me and you saw his first mic. I don't know if you saw his first mic.
Yep.
At Soul Joel's.
Oh yeah. No, I didn't see it.
Wearing the Russell hoodie and the Russell pants, and I thought,
the Rocky outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? In 4 years, this guy's going to be touring in Florida.
And you were right.
Yep.
I picked on him the first time I saw him, and he was cool with it. That's how I knew he was cool.
Oh yeah.
Sort of similar with you and me. We were busting each other's balls
Were
like
we?
the first or second time we saw each other. Yeah, well, that's just how you do it, you know.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
And I just bust balls back, and that's how
I
we.
liked your whales stuff. I remember at Jackson.
Oh God, I had never got those
Telecom.
jokes to work.
Rest in peace,
Telecom.
Jackson.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
That's why if you Google Disney or Disney froze, that's a great joke too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It is a good joke.
You made me really feel comfortable when you first talked to me.
Yeah,
because
you sexually abused.
You told me I was funny, but you could have been lying.
I was.
Yeah.
No, I always
But
thought both of you guys.
I
were
was
funny.
like talking like because it was me and Brendan Smith sitting together, and
Wee-wee?
Wee-wee. And it was me, Brendan, and it was Justin Armistead, who's really funny.
Yeah, Justin's
And
great.
we were sitting.
Yeah, he's
together,
great. He is.
And then Cisco was always calling from us. Goes, man, you guys are. Oh my God, you're starting out new comics, man. That's good, man. You're starting out new comics, but like you're this close. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what are you talking about? And you go, just don't listen to him. You're funny. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Cisco, here's someone I'll talk shit on. I'll talk shit. I'll talk
Cisco's a
Cisco on
fucking
shit
moron.
on Cisco all
I'm
day.
good enough to do his Toys for Tots stuff, but he can't book me.
Oh, are you on the Toys for Tots shit?
No,
He didn't
I never-
even
you said
ask
that
me to do
you
it.
said that to me once.
Oh yeah, it's true. I only ever worked for Cisco for free, except for one time. This is sort of a Soul Joel thing for
Same.
you. I worked for Cisco one time, and I ate so much shit that the comic that came after me was using me as a saver for his dumb shit.
Wow.
Like every time he was getting no laughter, and it happened a lot because it was Tommy Hyland. No, it wasn't. What was his name? No.
Tommy Afton. No.
Whatever. No, he was Tommy
Connors.
Afters.
It was not
No,
Tommy
Tom Connors would have to get out and do an open mic to get booked somewhere, and he.
Well,
That's
that's
the
the Luke.
pot calling the
The
kettle.
Luke calling the kettle the N-word.
I should know, right? I should. If anyone can level that charge, it should be me. No, that's because I miss him and I love him.
I remember doing that. That Toys for Tots show wasn't bad. I remember Ryan Rims was on stage.
Oh yeah, it wasn't bad, but Ryan Rins was on stage. Yeah, the Holocaust wasn't bad, but once the gas came out, and I'll tell you what, Ryan Rins is worse than the Holocaust because he exists. I've seen him.
That was the first time my dad saw me perform, but I remember seeing Ryan Reynolds on stage, and it's me and Chris Dolan, who's terrific, and we're sitting together, and Cisco goes, man, he's fucking nervous, man. He's bombing, and he was actually having an all right set. It's like, okay, like and Chris goes, he's doing fine. I don't know what you're talking about. He goes, man, he's not doing. He was like all worked up. It's like, all right.
Was he wearing his fucking little tuxedo?
Yeah, he was. I think
He's a bloated cock smoking Mexican.
Cisco had some show in New York, and he like very hesitantly asked me to help him like punch his set up for him.
Wow.
And then due to some normal circumstance or whatever, I couldn't make the writing session, and I was like, if you ever want to, let's reschedule. And he refused to reschedule, and I think he was like very bashful about it. But in the back of my mind, I was like, what can I do to your material?
Yeah.
Like, what perspective could I bring?
That's
like,
like
Cisco, when you're talking to as you call them, gringos.
yeah.
I used to call them
That's like
Migos
going to
Negros.
Africa and saying, hey, give him water. Like, you have an easier chance of
Right. I
Why
probably
don't you
could.
guys
I
put
could
some
Mr.
shoes
Beast
on?
it.
Look at your feet. And you see them in their fucking, they're in their Denver Broncos 2013 Super Bowl shirt.
Yeah, it would be like me writing for Hamburger. Like, where would I start to make his set,
really, yeah.
improve his set in any way?
Oh, man, that reminds me of the time I was in L.A. and I was doing comedy in L.A.
Hey, you ever seen the documentary Blackfish, Holmes?
That's a great, like, mid-2000s Mencia.
Thank you. I do a pretty good one. I can't, unfortunately, my impressionism is locked in the 90s. If I could still have the permission to be as racist as they could be playfully in the 90s, I would have a lot more impressions. Like, the impressions I do walking around, like, I'll hear them on, like, the things. I'll nail your average cholo.
Yeah.
I'll nail it.
You should
I'll
see
nail
his
your-
Arsenio Hall.
I'll nail your average old Japanese or Chinese man. I will
that's
nail
all
it
I do.
sonically. You wouldn't be able to know that it was a white guy
A lot
doing
of
it.
times I run a house, I'll just go like, Butterfly in the sky, like a fright while high. That's all I do.
Oh yeah,
Watching
remember
the-
that Billy String song I sent you? She ebb and flow like water, and she feels just like a wine.
I don't even do it to be right. I think it's a nice. It's fun.
Oh, yeah.
it's a funny.
It's hysterical.
They talk funny.
I feel
I
that
could be.
Yes.
Well, here's my theory on how we end racism. It's by letting like one steam vent exist where everyone can be what we would call racist today. And I think the loophole is you can't make fun of how anybody is, how they look, what they're raised as, but you can make fun of how they sound. If we let that open, because like white people sound funny, I sound funny, as evidenced by your both. Yours is better, I think, but
No, I think yours is better.
What?
You're Dan.
well, there are other Dan impressions out there, by the way. I've uncovered
Really?
a few.
There are
Yeah.
many of
One
us,
the
like my genders.
One of the reasons I don't like certain people in the scene is that you mentioned one of them. He's
yeah.
extremely big. Is that I found out that they were doing an impression of me, and it had to have been behind my back because when I asked the comic that someone was like, "Does a perfect you?" He was like, "No, I don't know what you're talking
Who's
about."
that, Jim?
No, it was
John
John.
Prophet?
Yeah, apparently he does like a really funny impression of me.
Oh, man,
but when
I've never
I asked
seen
him
it.
to do it, he wouldn't do it.
He's
and
a
that's
great impressionist too. I don't know why
I don't know.
he wouldn't do it.
Well, because I feel like that's what told me
Oh, you
that
think
it
it
was
was
at my
negatory?
expense. Yeah. Well, the difference is like
Derogatory.
you made yes, you made
made the
hilarious
video.
things and you felt
I
bad.
felt bad,
But
and
when
I was-
I asked you to show me them, you were like fine, and you showed them to me. You weren't like, I don't know what you're talking about. If you had done that, I would have been like, oh, okay. Well, then you always intended this
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
make
that's
fun
bullshit.
of me.
And we'll show the video.
You
now.
should, because it's fucking hilarious.
We
I
got to
love it.
start putting photos of what we talk about with no context back in the
Yeah,
Insta
I'll do
post.
it,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Wait, I don't think we put up our last episode yet.
We did.
It happened today.
I
It
was
went up today.
stupid. I was.
No, I don't care. You're
I
good.
posted it, but I when I do it on the Clipchamp, it makes it posted as unlisted. I always forget to change it. That's my fault.
That's okay, nigga.
Could I get another beer?
Oh yeah. Just take one. Take one.
Thank you.
Luke,
Yes.
we're almost out.
I actually am a fan. I love out of all the lights, I like Coors Light the most.
Coors is really good in a can.
Silver bullet, baby.
I agree.
God, I love drinking. I was drinking the other day. I was putting down like a 12er on Friday and a 12er on Saturday, and there's just nothing like drinking.
I like drinking more than getting high. I don't know how you do both.
Yeah, I'm more of a weed. I've
I understand
transitioned
that,
in my
yeah.
later years. My 20s was all about drinking. My 30s was sort of a tidewater. And now that I'm
40's
40,
heroin.
yeah, right, gotta go. No, that's 60. I'll start going big air once I like
No,
turn
come on,
60,
get on the
65.
old Giobbi train.
No-
I found the magic dragon.
I have to tell you about Dan the Fish Festival a couple weeks ago. I went all 4
Yeah.
days. Giobbi was there. Drew Pabsky was there. if
Oh,
you
wow.
know him.
Yeah.
You were the worst
Adam
comic out of
Benjamin.
the three.
Adam the worst heroin you. Adam Benjamin, his twin brother, was there. Do you know
Okay.
Adam Benjamin from Grape Room, the bald
yes.
guy?
Yeah.
He gave me that What Happened book about George Bush doing 9/11.
Oh,
but
nice.
His twin brother, both of them look malnourished. He was at the Fish Festival. We were all there. But I was thinking, man, what a collection. There was a story I was going to go about that.
There's
There's
a
just,
yeah, you guys, and then you guys saw like the Doobie Brothers or some shit.
yeah, I wasn't there. I wish I could have.
Yeah, it was me, Tay, Combs, Mac, and Dunbar.
I love the Doobies.
Yeah, I have a Doobie Brothers shirt. I almost wore it. Yeah.
They come around every summer. Next summer, do you want to go? Mm-hmm. I'll go.
I'm down.
I'm still going down to the Camden to see something. I think I'm going to Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper.
Okay.
I saw them last year in Scranton. I've seen Rob Zombie like 10 times. I love the guy.
Nice.
The guitar player left, and I haven't seen him without this guy yet.
I haven't really. I guess Dragula was the last time I checked in with Rob Zombie. So
I would
it's
think
been
you'd
while.
be a zombie guy.
I liked White Zombie. I was so into
I like
metal.
I like White Zombie a lot too.
When
You ever see
he-
Black Zombie? It's called
George
XXX Tentacion. George Florge Joyd. He drives a 2009 Florge Joyd.
That's funny.
Guess how he died? He couldn't breathe. That's why he put the carbon monoxide from the fucking
He also-
faggoty.
he
You,
also
it
drowned
goes
in a
fast,
hot
but you
tub.
have to put your knee on the pedal. That's the.
Well, I think that we should, if we ever like firebomb the blacks in Minnesota, you know.
Do you want to move Minnesota?
No,
You
I'm
wanna
saying
do-
that the bombs we drop should look like knees.
I gotta say, I don't think riots are in the cards this year. Maybe from the Republicans, but they didn't riot. The DNC didn't become a riot, and I would have bet that it
Well,
would
that's
have.
because all those pussies are just fine with all the money that was donated to Biden going right to Kamala. That's illegal. You can't do that.
Well, I mean, she was on the ticket. I feel like that would have been a better.
Was there even a ticket?
Yeah, you vote for Biden. Well, okay, I see what you're saying.
If the Republicans did that, you wouldn't be thrilled.
No, trust me. If the Republicans put J.D. Vance up instead of Donald Trump, I would be thrilled. I hate Donald Trump personally. On a personal
He's not
level.
that hateable. He's just a typical rich guy who doesn't care about anyone. He's no worse than Bezos.
I love him running for president. I hated him as president. If he would cut a deal where he would just agree to always run for president, but if he won, it would go to the vice president or some other Republican.
I know why. And
I would
gas
accept
being
that in
$2.
a
It's
second.
disgusting.
He's just It's like a comedian that you end up seeing too much. Like really, anyone that gets
I
popular.
told you we
in the
left
Philly
early when
scene.
we saw
Wait,
him.
we did. We leave early when we got tired of it.
It just gets tiring. Like I'm able to separate. Look, I'm a straight white guy.
Dan's
I
a
look
busy
like this.
guy. He doesn't have time for Trump's bullshit, okay? A guy like Trump,
No,
a
it's
con
not that.
man.
It's tedious and exhausting. It's it's like the
I got hairy legs, man.
The nice thing about Biden is he's so old that he doesn't know that he should be in the news.
I wanted Biden to win. I was really upset when he dropped
I
out.
said Biden might be the only president I think is funnier than Trump, and he's not even trying.
I'm actually getting because they got him really locked away now. He hasn't been doing anything.
Yeah,
I'm gonna miss his hot piece of ass wife. I'm sure he misses his son who died of cancer. What a great. Well, Hunter fucked away.
Bye, Bo.
Yeah, Joe Biden, great father. 50% of his kids are in the ground.
Well, one of them died from like a burn pit. I don't think that's his
Yeah,
fault.
and so did that whore wife.
Oh yeah. I forgot about
Joe Biden's whore wife died. He made out well because I'd sacrifice a kid to fuck Jill.
I do hate Elon Musk though. That's the one Republican I don't like. Is Elon Musk.
I don't like Elon Musk because I love actually Elon Musk for what he represents, which is that
Whites.
is that you can have all the money in the world and still not be cool. Like cool is something.
He's cooler than Zuck.
Yes, absolutely.
Zuck's an
But
F
Zuck
word.
doesn't
Zuck
want
more
to.
than
No, Zuck is a big pussy.
I know, but at least you know he's a big pussy.
But Zuck
Elon
did-
tries to be cool.
Zuck did like one of the ultimate pussy moves, which is he got real into shape and he got into Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
What
and
a
he's still a
pussy.
fucking nerd. He can't overcome it. Like he didn't get like for him, like he's strong, but he's still like a Weasley little Poindexter,
Yeah.
and he'll never change that. And those Poindexters are always like a little contemptible,
Yeah.
because it's like you thought getting in shape would cure you, but you're still like
A nerd.
A nerd, yeah. Elon Musk is the nerd that will do anything to be cool. And he will never get there because he's a fucking nerd.
All those
And for
trucks
that,
are
I love
fucking
it.
those trucks are stupid.
Oh, yeah, they're
All
awful.
The cars are stupid.
Yeah.
Saturday, I got an applause break at a suburb show because they said Elon Musk should go back to Africa. All
You
these
get
old,
away with that one,
These
yeah.
old whores drinking wine. I won them over. They were being loud. These like 60-year-old women. I told them they were 15 years away from being old enough to be junior senators, and but they were being loud, not super disrespectful, just loud. Like you
Yeah.
could tell they were decent people because they were all white.
I don't think there's any big tech giant I like though.
No, me neither.
Jobs I didn't like. even
No,
as a
I'm gonna
kid.
finish my story though, nigga.
Sorry,
No, I said like I addressed them. I said, "How are you pieces of ass doing?" And they were really won over. But go on. I'm sorry. I pontificate.
I didn't like Jobs that much.
means figures.
No, Jobs was pretentious. They're all
Very
pretentious.
pretentious. Yeah.
I'm glad he died.
Wozniak is cool. Is he
Wozniak
not?
is cool. I think that's the
Yeah.
thing is like there's a control on all those billionaires, which is like the Wozniak control. So eventually he got enough money where he's like, yeah, if you call me and want an interview, I guess I'll give you an interview, but I'm just kind of being rich and doing my own
Yeah.
thing. I respect anybody that can get enough money.
Yeah.
That's the problem with all those guys. You get to a billionaire, you're always going to be lame by virtue of you're the type of loser who can never have enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because anyone around 100, 200, 500 million that's anywhere close to being normal would be like, oh, okay, I can buy my own island, stock it with like hookers.
Well, some of these
you know.
guys just keep making money to spite themselves.
Right.
Like Michael Jordan, he's probably my favorite billionaire because he makes so much from these fucking shoes, and all he does is fucking go fuck,
Yep.
gamble, do drugs. He loves, like, his eyes are permanently yellow. He's got chink skin eyes.
Jaundice.
Yeah.
He
Vitiligo.
Vitiligo, yeah.
He's got chinkaligo. Oh, vitiligo. Oh, hello. China. Oh, hello, vitiligo. I give you fruit.
I'm relying on the sliding scale of identity to say you can do that, but
I have a new joke where I say
yeah, you're Azerbaijani or something, right?
no. This is
Sure.
trans.
Azerbaijani.
No, my eyes are by Johnny.
Scoot over a little bit. You're out of the frame.
I'm back in the frame.
Apologies.
No, you're good.
That could be. Oh, that's
What
my
the
phone.
fuck was that?
That was my phone. I had it. No, my fault. I perched it there. Azerbaijani could be a nice little character of yours.
I
by the
like
way.
that.
Yeah.
I had something to say. I completely forgot about it. I apologize.
That's okay. Good thing on air. You just cut that part out.
Can I get the pen?
Oh yeah, sure. But I thought I gave that. You gave it back. There you go.
That
buddy.
edible is hitting me.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
That was a 200 milligram. I only had half.
Yeah, that's why I didn't take it because I'd be zonked out for the back nine of this interview.
The last time
We just getting started, nigga.
I smoked weed,
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna
Yeah,
pop.
take as many as
I
you
was
want.
just puffing off of like a joint, and or no, was it a bowl? Who knows? And I was doing it, and I watched Ant-Man,
Okay.
and that really fucked me up.
Yeah.
Like I was like
He was dimensionally or not dimensionally size trans.
I was trans man.
He was trans size. Yeah.
yeah. I was like watching.
It's Spider-Man who's dimensionally
Yes,
trans.
I was watching it, and I was like, I read all the subtitles off, so I watched the entire movie just reading the subtitles, and then like I was like trying to listen to the movie. I couldn't hear it because there was an AC right next to me, and I heard people in the backyard talking, and in my head I go, oh my god, all the background noise is forward, and I was like, whoa, look at me,
Jesus.
fucking
You don't
Yeah.
smoke weed much.
hate it. I
Yeah.
hate the way I feel on it.
Yeah, that's crazy because like I'll smoke weed and just drive.
I drove.
Oh, did
I
you?
did
Oh, that's
drive.
good.
Luke is a great drunk driver. I got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, this came up in the Dave Premiano episode, and I thought that was a good
We talked about
topic
driving
for you
drunk?
guys to cover. You talked about what a good drunk driver each one of you were.
Oh.
Well, you do it way more than me. I've done it like three times.
I've never driven drunk.
Oh, you know? Okay. Well, I've done it 3 times, and you've done it.
It's not
0?
something you should be proud of. Not that
No.
I think you are,
I
but
never do it.
you can be skilled at something shameful. And I
will say,
I very much
when
am.
I first did it, I was like, wow, this is a lot easier than people say.
You had a great line. You said, "You're driving high. You have all the skill, none of the confidence. Driving drunk, all the confidence, none of the skill."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I used to be wee. Some of those nights driving home from 13.
Yeah,
I'd
I've
be
seen
zipping and
you.
zagging.
I've seen you some nights where like suddenly you're gone. It was always at 13, where suddenly you weren't at the bar anymore,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, someone made a mistake by letting you leave."
Yeah, Lucas told me a few times he was like he thought I would die. Remember that one day when
4
you
years
saw
ago, you're like, outside the car window, I go, all right, well, he's dead. He's not going to survive. And I moved in with you 2 years later. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was in the day when I was going to comedy and doing that 5 nights a week, driving that much because I wanted to get away from my.
I will say
fiancé.
this too. I think when we first started, like when we didn't start at the same time. When I first started, that was the last good group of new comics.
Oh,
I was-
everybody says that.
But like,
Yeah, I agree. That's nostalgia, but I think that the people that are the exceptions to the rule, you don't think about as younger than you, like Combs and stuff. Like there are people
Yeah,
that you
super.
like all those Boots on the Moon guys. They're
Yeah.
all later than us.
that's a great
You
point.
know, so you lump them in because you let the younger people, because you were already around, you attach them to a wider generation.
Yeah, that's a
but
good
you don't
point.
attach the people
Very
that started
correct.
a year or two ahead of you.
Yeah.
They're not part of your class in your mind. I have the same thing in LA. Like a lot of times the people I get
Where?
the most, LA, Los Angeles is a little
Oh, I
city.
thought it was Louisiana.
City of
yeah.
Angels?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah. The city I
No, he
used to
couldn't
live
handle
in.
all that jambalaya. You couldn't handle the spice, white bull.
I was LA sized. I was Los Angeles sized when I was in Los Angeles. I am now Louisiana sized.
Oh.
So,
That wasn't a weight thing. It was about being a Caucasian.
no, I get it. I made it a weight thing.
Look at that fly.
Did you get it? Oh, I thought,
I-
I
That
thought,
would've
I
been
thought
so
you like punked out, like punching.
Talking about drunk confidence, I thought you had the body language that you
Yeah.
caught it. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, flies are the
That's what I did the
worst.
same thing with my cock. I'm trans. I look at me, I'm trans.
Fun fact: my 10 years ago, maybe my then girlfriend, and I looked at this apartment complex to move into.
Really?
Yeah, we looked at this place and we were like, who could live like this?
Really?
We didn't say that, but we were not impressed by the place.
I'm not either.
My
The-
girlfriend was less impressed than me. I live in rough conditions.
well,
I
we
don't
toured
care.
the other place and then got put in this one. They have another property up the road that's nicer.
Oh,
and
really?
They put us here.
Maybe that is the one we toured. But I was walking through here and I was like, I toured this place.
Well, yeah.
before.
Well, you know about the saga of the hobo who was living here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
No, you don't. I
You talked about it all the time on the podcast.
All
I'm a
right,
frequent
Dan, you're a
listener.
lying sack of shit. Oh my God. Well, Dan, he
We
was
haven't
another.
seen him in a
He was
while.
another. Yeah, because we got him arrested.
Yes,
Now
good
he's
point.
getting his. Honestly, it's better for him. He's getting his 3 square meals if he's in jail. But they probably cut him loose, unless he had a public. If you have a public defender, you're going to jail. Like,
Yeah, but they'll
Did
turn you out
see-
pretty fast
did
if
you
you're
see
just
that,
sleeping in a hallway.
That lawyer that just graduated from Harvard, I think, with Down syndrome.
Really?
Lawyer with Down syndrome.
Wow.
That must, and I would thought like that must be really hard for the parents knowing that you have the smartest kid with Down syndrome, but the dumbest lawyer of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The,
I gotta,
well,
I
Jew-
gotta admit, I'm not prejudiced
probably
against people
Jew
with Down
parents.
syndrome. But if like I got a lawyer and they came
They
in and
can't
they had
be a
Down
lawyer.
syndrome, I would be
No.
upset. I would be upset. I would be
Yeah.
like, no, I don't feel like I'm
Oh,
getting
do you remember-
competent defense.
Do you remember a year or so ago I said to you that there's going to eventually be one of them in Congress because they're going to say we need, if they don't have a vote in Congress. And you said, what are you talking about? Delaware elected a trans person in the midterm.
But it's like
Back in the old days, they would have been classified
that
as the
shows
same.
you. That shows you how fucking evil and greedy these colleges. Who the hell looks at somebody with Down syndrome to go, "Oh, you want to join law school?"
Evil.
Just-
I guess
Evil.
it's tough. I think that's probably a parent thing because it's like I get how like an institution you can't be like you can't do this, but the parent should have been like,
How did she do
you
the classes,
shouldn't
the
be
girl,
a
though?
lawyer. I feel like it's easy to see because don't we work around a lot of people who someone should have sat them down and been like, you shouldn't do comedy. But they
I know
forge on anyway because they have a dream
Yeah, but you
of
don't
being
do-
a
you don't-
comedian.
you don't-
Yeah, Pete
take
Eckenroth
out
moving to
loans.
Texas. But
You
I
take out loans to go to comedy for 10 years, and then
yeah.
That's true. I guess that is a huge
Yeah,
difference.
I don't
but
think
I feel
for
like,
this family loans they weren't an issue. Like,
yeah,
they-
that's probably what it is. It's probably they're
Yeah,
rich
that's a good
and
point.
they had the opportunity to indulge this sort of fantasy. I'm sure they'll get, someone will get good PR by hiring them and putting them somewhere where they don't have to be like client facing or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I would be pissed.
Using one of those toy phones.
I'm not prejudiced against people with Down syndrome. There's a lot of jobs I would let people with Down syndrome work.
Construction-
But, like,
not one of them.
arguing for my
Construction.
freedom is probably not one of them. Yeah.
Well,
I
then,
want them
man,
to-
you're not going to want to vote for either one of these candidates in the election coming up.
I want
But
them to reshoot the OJ trial, but instead of the OJ's lawyer, it's a lawyer with Down syndrome.
Genuinely, and I've said this for a long time now, what would you do if some in your wife? You cut them up.
No, I wouldn't do that.
We're gonna have to. We can promise me you'll cut this. Get the time.
Cut that.
Yeah, Dan.
I used to do that.
You think it's the first time he said that on here? Yeah, I've caught it multiple times.
You don't wait. I never told you that when I worked at the supermarket as a teen, the guys that worked there showed me this. They would grind one thing of pork through with the beef in the morning and one thing of beef with the pork.
Fucking good.
So that whoever was religious and couldn't eat one would eat like, and there's no exception for
mean,
that in the
nothing would
Quran.
happen.
They're going to hell.
No, I at least there is a stipulation in the Quran that I learned about. I used to think the same thing, and I thought that was a fun prank because I don't really care about religious people. But the Quran,
So Dan DePriel doesn't care about Muslims?
any fundamentalist, I don't care about. But
I like Muslims for the sexism and homophobia. Now there's a real.
Your buddy, our buddy Dan Cross.
Oh, I adore Dan. You would love this guy.
What is the quote he says that's perfectly true about religion,
I don't know what.
about the Bible?
Oh, he says, listen. I'm not a big religious guy. There's obviously no God, but some people read the right book and some people didn't. And his girlfriend said, well, what's the difference between like a Catholic and a Baptist? As I said, one read the right book and one didn't.
Well, it's like I think Christianity, which I'm trying to get more into, I think that's the best religion there is.
Yeah,
It should
well,
be-
these Jews are ridiculous. Oh, I believe in it just the first half. It's the second half that's ridiculous. I believe in all the fucking Jonah swallowing.
I don't co-sign any of that. I love the Jewish people. The Jewish
Oh, yeah.
people are
the Jews
wonderful.
what a great religion these people are. They have the little hats. We like the little hats a lot.
We love them, but great
You
hats.
can't eat ham and cheese. It's not. I like ham and cheese a lot. You can't eat that, but
I saw
Jews
these.
are good people.
I saw these Jews at the zoo the other day. We went to the zoo at my job.
Yeah.
And I thought,
Zoos.
yeah. I thought, why aren't they in the fucking cage?
Huey Lewis and the Jews.
Huey Lewis and the Jews. That's the name of the band.
I have a half Jewish co-host for my podcast, so
Boo!
I'm a friend.
Yeah, and I'm black too. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm
yeah.
trans.
Yeah.
I am.
Luke
I
is
am a
black
friend of
without the thuggery, and Dave is Jewish without the control.
Without the-
Yeah.
Well,
No, he's secretly
he certainly
like
has
that.
the opinions.
The usury.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have any
Oh,
money.
also, Luke, we got to turn the volume up on the pod. We're too quiet.
You guys, your
up.
mic technique is
but-
very sloppy on this. That would be my
How
one.
so?
What, when you're listening or now?
Yeah, when I'm listening, sometimes you guys will like lose your mic and you'll lose.
Oh, I do
okay.
that constantly.
Yeah, you specifically.
Well, now like we're in the red.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Come into my home and
Yeah, because
criticize
I'm
me.
talking and I'm a loud motherfucker, so you're gonna have to. And
No, the volume's good. It's in the.
is Reddit
Right,
where
no,
we
it
need
just
to be?
has to be like when we're uploading it, we have to turn the volume up louder.
Yeah, I will. But we're good. We actually peaked a couple times during this.
Cool, good. Well, yeah, because
So-
it's me, and
Yeah,
I'm allowed.
yeah. Red for the red.
I'm gonna
hat.
overload your audio visual
Correct.
system.
Correct. But yeah, Jews are great people, by the way. Just let
I love them. I love them. I want a career in entertainment, and I love them.
Did you see him at? It's his new one. He was at He was at like a Vietnamese restaurant in Virginia, and he was talking to
Who is
Vietnamese.
this?
Trump.
Oh, Trump.
Because we love the Vietnamese people. They're very hardworking.
I love the Vietnamese so
yeah,
much.
unlike his clothing, he means. Yeah.
I love the Vietnamese so much. I draft dodged in Vietnam. Why is there shame in
I
draft
wouldn't even
dodging?
fight him, folks.
I
There shouldn't
respect
be.
draft
There shouldn't
dodging.
be.
Like hell, I'm gonna go kill to stop the spread of communism because a
shouldn't.
bunch of fucking assholes. They're scared of their power being
And
threatened.
people try to give Tim Walz shit for not fighting, right? Don't
Yeah.
they try that? Why?
But who cares?
He's
yeah.
a
I wouldn't
tranny, not a
fight
fighter.
either.
Yeah, he got out.
I told a veteran once that I would break my own legs before I'd fight in a war.
Yeah, Tim Walz did it. I wanted to do what Tim Walz did when I was a kid. I wanted to join the National Guard, not fight, go to college for free.
The Brendan Burrow.
Yeah, be in shape most of my life because you're forced
That's
to
what
be.
my buddy Nick does.
And never have to get blown up.
Yeah.
But then when I was a senior, 9/11 happened, and I was like, oh, we're going to be in war for fucking
What's 9/11?
ever.
and we were
A great day, ladies and gentlemen.
the
Great
towers.
day.
They got blown
Well,
up.
I'm going to tell you something. If not for
Obstructed
9/11,
the view of Trump Tower.
And
much
Tower
better.
7 just fell like Joe Biden walking down a path. He just fell and collapsed. Can't do
do you
it.
remember when he said the Ted
One of the
Cruz?
pilots, I think their name was Kamala.
Kamala Harris was one of the pilots in 9/11. She blew
Kamala's
up.
she's no Hani Hanjour, let me tell you. You know what they said at the flight school, the guy who taught Hani Hanjour in flight school, the guy who flew into the Pentagon, his quote about him was, he couldn't fly. That's the quote the guy had.
He couldn't fly.
He couldn't fly. Do you know about the 330-degree descending turn the guy did?
Really?
He could have landed on top of the Pentagon. He did this corkscrew turn and went down and hit
And
this
hit the side in a
yeah,
very
and well, it was
ineffective way.
the side was a wall they had just redone 6 months prior.
Wow.
And it blew up a lot of files about Vietnam. That's the official story. That's the honest to God. You would have to be as fucking retarded as George W. Bush is to come up with that.
Yeah.
That's the stupid. It's not a political thing, but when the guy says he couldn't fly, and they've had simulators and niggas doing 20-year pilots trying to do this shit,
Yeah.
and they think that some goddamn Arab, a 23-year-old Arab, was able to do it, just like with the nukes. You think Bin Laden, who lived in a crawl space, like it looked under my mother's porch where I'd often hide, you think Bin Laden lived in there? His face is in muck. You think
Yeah.
this guy has
Yeah.
nukes?
No.
This guy couldn't afford yellow cake from a fucking Carvel ice cream shop. This fucking cocksmog. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, that's the problem with 9/11 specifically, is that the official line on it is so obviously not what happened that it's like you invite every goddamn guess as to what actually happened when you're not level with the American people about it.
One of the aides in the bunker testified in federal court that Dick Cheney told them not to shoot down the Pentagon one.
Really?
He said, stand down, and then he said, does the order still stand, sir, as they watched it getting close?
Yeah.
And he said, why wouldn't it? He
Yeah,
screamed it.
I feel like I don't judge anybody who has a question about that, because the let's roll, like that was
That's
such an
horseshit.
obvious bullshit lie.
Phones don't work up there now.
Yeah, you shot that plane down. Just say it. Be like, that was going to take out another building, so we shot
That
it down.
wasn't a plane. That was a drone.
Oh, whatever, I don't know.
Honest
but-
to God, like, how would those people have been able to call their families unless they took them somewhere and said, call and say what's happening, and then we'll give you money? Because the phones really didn't work in the sky.
There was a one.
Wi-Fi was invented in 2003. There was no Wi-Fi.
That is true. They were calling just on data. That's right.
Yeah, you can't do it. It's scientifically impossible.
Those are the two I need to be able to talk to you. I need to know that you think 9/11 was a sham and so was JFK. Those are the two I require.
Absolutely.
Those are the two I
JFK is the
require.
worst one
Yeah.
yet. CIA did it, and they involved the mob so they could blame the mob later on. But like the mob, they just
100%.
used the mob.
100%. They killed Bobby too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Sirhan. Yeah. They, them. And what? Bobby's a bad guy just because he was fucking women, and he killed. The day Marilyn Monroe died, Bobby Kennedy went to her house and told her. I did a bit about this. It's over.
Really?
Like John Kennedy fucked her and mouthed off about government secrets and then ghosted her.
Yeah.
And he sent Bobby to deal with her, and then Bobby started fucking her.
Right.
And then when Bobby went to her house with a Secret Service agent the day she died, like it's documented.
Right. He said it was over.
He said, yeah, you can't sleep with us anymore and you can't tell anything that we told you. And then she was dead later that day. Then her body went missing at the hospital. Some fucking morgue guy fucked her corpse.
Oh my
Jesus.
God. Oh my
Her
God.
There's like 6 hours. Look it up. Her body went missing.
The one story I know about her is apparently she had some kind of dental issue and her teeth were rotten and her breath smelled like a corpse.
Really?
Man.
Well, yeah, I
It's
mean,
either that or JFK's seed.
that's. I mean, at that time, I can completely believe that.
Yeah, she's just a whore.
No, somebody had sex with her corpse. I can totally believe that.
That time, people would do that. And you don't think that
I think people
fucking
would do it
Jeremy
now.
Hubsher would fuck a corpse tomorrow?
He smells like a fucked corpse. I'll tell you.
Have you seen him lately? I haven't seen him
I
since
saw
he went
him.
to the
I
hospital.
thought he was dying. I was hoping he would.
I saw him. He's doing good.
Yeah.
I saw him at Soul Joel's. He was the coolest person there. Which really tells you how cool.
Well, it's certainly not going to be Joel.
I have been to open mics where you look around and it's like, oh wow, Jeremy, you're it. You're
Yeah.
like the coolest dude
Yeah.
in the room right
Yeah.
now.
There's a comic who will remain nameless that Luke was telling me. I said, who do we like that was at the mic tonight? And he listed 3 people, and then he got to this person. And I said, well, for future reference, you can stop with.
That's what I like
it's not
about you
someone
guys.
you know, it's a Philly person. That's not even a bad person. It's just we don't.
Well, you can tell me after. I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
That's why one of the things I like about you guys is you're not afraid to not like people, which is something in this business people are so hesitant to do. Like they're hesitant they want to give people endless chances. You make fun of me. Actually, both of you make fun of me for that tendency myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll be shit talking someone and I'll be like, oh, I don't know. And you'll be like, shut the fuck up.
Once
I do
you're
admire
out
that
with
about
me,
you
once
guys.
you're out with me, you're out. You can never act like you're too cool to hang out with somebody. You can never denounce. You can't be a Saint Peter. If you like someone, you have to like them all the time. When I
Yeah.
see somebody doing that, I'm done with them.
Well, yeah, it's not. That's true. That too. But I just mean like you guys. It's so. There's so much pressure on people when they start this to be friends with everybody, and then you get shit like we'll go to the top where it's people we don't even deal with, where it's like the Rogan verse or whatever. Like his special came out and
Every
everyone was
time-
like, people were like, "Oh my god, you got to see this great new special from the King." It's
not
like
funny.
anyone with fucking eyes can see that
comedy.
special stinks.
Everybody that talks about Tony Hinchcliffe, they always go, "Oh, he's such a nice guy. He's so great."
Right.
But it's like, Dunbar is one of my best friends, and every time I go, he's a fucking hack. He's not funny because it's true, but also it's because we're
That is true,
like
yeah.
really great friends,
Right.
Like
No.
every time I talk about somebody, oh, they're so great. Oh, they're
Right.
so amazing.
It's always praise and like
Yeah.
love.
Well,
I
it's
think that's
just-
one of the reasons the
that's-
Two Bears got popular because they would be willing to be like,
Bear
no, he
Bryant?
sucks.
Yeah.
No,
I've always said that's why hot chicks gas up ugly chicks on Instagram. They write, "You're so beautiful." They would never do that to another hot chick because they
want
see
them
her.
to get the
right.
confidence.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, they're saying because if that girl is beautiful, then what am I?
Exactly.
Right. Like, because they do that to gas up these women, and it's like, oh, it's terrible. That's why I just discard women. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I was saying today, I had a line in the one. We have a group. We have to put you in there. You're never at the mic, so you don't know a lot of the people in it. Or we
Yeah,
would put
I've
you in it
lost a
already.
lot of new. There are new comics that I don't even know now because I never go out.
Like I felt
There's
bad.
a dude with long hair. I saw him a couple times. He's really funny,
The
like
Mongolian?
a 13 guy. I guess I don't know.
No, it's not.
But
the
he was
Mongolian.
really funny, and I was like, oh, I would want to know who you are
is
if I
it?
ever came to an open mic. Some 13 guy. I don't remember. his
There
name.
is
With
no
long hair.
Was it the
Yeah.
guy with no legs?
No, he
Oh.
had legs for sure.
Oh.
I don't know,
Glasses?
chubby white guy with a beard. I know that really narrows it down.
The only guy I'm thinking of is the guy with no legs. He walks.
Maybe he didn't have
You
legs.
saw him at 13.
Oh, yeah, I saw him at 13.
Does he look like
funny.
Giabi?
No, I don't know. Maybe he's young, way younger than Giabi.
Oh, are you thinking of Josh James?
No.
What happened to him? He stopped doing that.
Yeah, I
I
guess
heard
he
him
stopped.
recently.
I guess he stopped. That's the thing.
No,
with people-
Demar.
You won the game, Demar.
I like that game. I like that joke, rather. I like that joke a lot.
Game of life.
If I remember one of your jokes, I like you. Like, I like your joke. I
Matt
liked it.
Terhune, I remember that joke every day.
No more couch for a while.
Yeah, that was when you break the couch when you're poor. Not a lot of couch for a while.
Matt Terhune's girlfriend, I don't know if he's still with her, but when I met this woman, she had these jugs you just wanted to slap and watch jiggle for an hour. I don't know how the guy did it. He must. They like these slender guys, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, women like thin.
But I would
slender
just,
dudes.
I would just fucking suck
Isn't
like
that the
those.
worst?
Yeah.
God, it's such bullshit. I wish we
I,
went back to the fucking Egyptian time.
Well, you got to insult.
You get to a
them.
certain age and you can if you're thick, it works for you.
Yeah.
Like once I graduated into like what I call the daddy zone, everything was okay.
What's the daddy zone?
You got to be older, and women like the
15
daddy.
more years?
For you, yeah, I would say
Oh,
you got to wait
brutal.
till like your 30s.
Well, I guess I'll never make that. No, I'm already in that because
You
I
do
mean-
fine for yourself. I don't want to hear this.
Oh
bullshit.
no, I do
You
great.
do
I
fine.
do. I'm
You
trans,
do
but
fine.
I sometimes you don't want to share drugs with a woman, so you just cancel on them.
No, you have game. You have your own unique game.
Oh, stop.
Game recognized game. I see what you're not doing things the traditional way, but you do okay for yourself.
Yeah, I really do well. I'm
Not
You
so
know-
much on roommates, but sometimes on
no,
partners. you
no,
know.
I get lucky here. I know. Luke and I, and by
Usually
get
when
lucky, I mean Luke buys a ticket to Africa and moves back. No.
I just had to disdain talking to women because it's like I'd rather be doing anything else besides.
Well, I just gas them up. See, I'm a sociopath
What
in
do
the
you
sense.
do?
I'll like you just say stuff to them. If you suddenly criticize their tattoos, they're always going to feel like they have to prove something.
Don't
to you.
neg them. Don't neg women. That's a neg.
Is that what you say?
That's a nig. No.
Ah.
All right.
What do you say to them? You say
I'll
your
be-
tattoos
I'll-
are ugly?
Well, no, I'll be like, what's that? A rose? Oh, all right.
No, you're good at teasing people. Like you can tease someone and people will feel like you're not necessarily
Right.
like,
No, but I
being
purpose.
cruel.
No, this is where I make them think I'm teasing them. Like, and I haven't said. Like, I implant a feeling of insecurity because you think about it. That's the one thing they have that's permanent. That they chose. Everything else they have that's permanent is nature given. Like from
Okay.
like their
That's interesting.
the way
Makeup is temporary.
the way they look is like
Sure. It's
they-
important to them.
They could be fit. They could be fit, but you could always gain. Like it's the only thing that's permanent about them that they can choose.
Okay.
Like your skin color, you can't choose. Hair color, you can't choose.
Right. How did you do it? Your skin color.
Believe me, as a teen especially, I wanted to change every day. I would pray. I used to pray when I believed in God. I
5
was-
times a day, right?
Well, yeah.
You prayed that you.
And then when I found out there was no God, they really pulled the rug out from under me. Yeah,
But it could
I always
fly.
thought,
All right.
here's the real shit. Muhammad a bitch. Why can't I draw you?
Because he's ugly.
How a nigga gonna be so ugly they can't even be drawing him?
Jesus, that's a point for Jesus for sure. He loves being depicted. Jesus, you
Yeah.
could do him 18
In
different ways. You could do
whiteface,
black
Jesus is- that's why people like
you could
Michael
do white
Jackson.
Jesus. You could do Trump as Jesus.
yeah.
He
Well, he is
Jesus
Jesus.
loves
We
it.
all know the accurate one. No, the accurate one is me.
The
Yeah.
accurate one's painted on that. Painted right there.
Some
in
of us
purple.
wish Trump had a few more holes in him, though. That would... Sorry, YouTube. Not in like a.
No, they won't ban you for that.
In
No,
a-
they'll only ban you if you say they're
the vaccine. didn't
iPad
work.
Nanos near the vaccine.
You can't say there's yeah. What did I say?
It was funny. I don't remember. You said they were nanobots.
Anobots, nay, and the vaccine vey. And we got, and we got kicked for that. I didn't say it like that, but I mean, thank you, Dr. Fauci. You piece of shit. What an unbelievable loser this guy is. Dumb Dago is what he is, Fauci.
I like. Fauci,
Hey, I'm Tony Fauci. Get the fuck. No,
Only
okay.
for one reason. Only
Tony
for one
Fauci.
reason.
Hey.
Because I like the Trump Fauci dynamic where
They both
Trump hired the guy. Trump could have fired the guy anytime he wanted
I
to.
never considered that.
And he went up every single day and he was like, Dr. Fauci, not a very smart guy. And it was like he works for you and you hired him
Yeah.
and he's continuing to work for you.
Yeah.
So he
and
really
you're
is a
continuing
CEO.
to let him work for you. And yet the dynamic between you is that you get up every time and you're like, Dr. Fauci, I don't know, could be treason. It's like for that same reason, like I don't like Elon Musk, but I love what he represents. The Fauci Trump dynamic that
a good
year.
dynamic.
I love
and then
what
he
Trump
brought
represents.
that woman, that simp woman around.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like when you bring another character in late in a series.
Yeah.
And I was like, bring back Fauci.
And then she
like
was
bring him back.
She goes, I had a very light cough. He goes, oh, can't do it. Get away from it. Yeah, that was a great
yeah.
Trump moment.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd plow her. That chick.
Oh yeah.
The
she was
even the Pennsylvania woman, the
Rachel
unfortunate
Levine.
looking trans woman, she was great when you take it all in as political theater, as I know you do.
Oh yeah.
She was just a great character in the political
Oh,
theater.
I would
He
say-
sure was.
we were during COVID. We had the worst, in my opinion, not just based on politics, but just like the ugliest, disgusting, most boring people.
Yeah.
Levine, Wolf, hated
Yeah,
Wolf.
Wolf was really
Shapiro, I don't
uncharismatic.
mind.
I only like Shapiro
Shapiro-
because he put away those fucking priests.
You talk about white guys talking like black guys. Josh Shapiro,
Yeah.
that's Obama. That's like a photo negative
he's
of
a
Obama.
Christ-hating Jew. That's the problem. That's why he put those cops away, and that's why he's okay to, or not the cops, the police away, or
It's-
the priests.
Priests.
It's why he'll never be. I raised this
President.
with I raised this with Dave a couple weeks ago. I was like, I think that we'll see a Republican Jewish president
No, we
before
won't.
we see a Democratic Jewish president.
We won't see a Jew president in my lifetime.
You might be right about that, because I would have thought that it would have been the
We
Democrats
won't
that
see it
would.
in 4 years.
Yeah, right. You got about 2 elections left in you. But,
Outlive Bernie.
oh yeah, Bernie's gonna
I
die in the
fucking
next
hate-
like 4
do you
years.
still like Bernie?
Yeah, of course.
I just
Him
can't stand
fucking
it.
sucking off Hillary shows that,
That
everybody,
really ruined it.
everybody's a
Bernie's
price.
always been
even
system
rich
guy.
Jews have a price.
Bernie's always been a system guy. He was always going to bend the knee. That's just what Bernie
He's
is.
a cuck. He probably wants
I
to watch
wouldn't
it.
have done that if I was Bernie, but I still
Could
understand.
have been a
why he
legend
did
if he said "fuck the Clintons."
it. He would have
He
been.
would have got killed.
I don't think there's any family
Well,
I hate
maybe.
more than the
if
Clintons.
he was powerful, if he had said "fuck the Clintons" and he was beating Trump, if there was like a 3-way race and he was in the lead, I think they would have killed him.
We need to stop Donald Trump, and we need to elect Hillary Rodham Clinton. I remember that.
But in a world where a guy like Bernie getting power would get you killed, it's smart to do what he did, which is just exist under the ceiling of what would
Well,
get you
that's all
killed.
what the Jews do. That's
what I
all
would-
they do.
that's what
Honest to God, they're like the Holy Spirit. They're there, but you don't know it. You don't know how. You don't know why. But they own all the real estate.
either move your foot and keep talking about.
Oh,
Jews,
yeah, this is
or
like a
either
Tarantino
keep
movie
your-
right
keep your
now.
foot
Get that
there-
fucking thing outta
Keep your
here.
foot there and talk.
wiggle your big toe.
You can't do both.
Yeah, I feel like I like Shapiro. Shapiro's great. I think that more people should be like Shapiro. They're aiming for cross-party appeal. I think that
Yeah.
not enough people are doing that.
Yeah,
like
no
there
one's
are more
doing
people.
that.
I am a Bernie guy, but I am more in on a lot of issues in the middle. Like I'm a gettable vote for a Republican, the right Republican.
No,
Not
you
a Trump-
imagine
not.
saying that 4 years ago.
I am for the, but that's
who?
why, because of Trump is why that's the case. If right now Trump dropped dead and you guys had to hold an open primary and like Mitt Romney, a guy I voted against, ran, I might consider him. I don't know. I
I'd
do
vote
like
for
Tim
Kamala.
Walz.
I'd vote
I
for
would vote
Kamala.
I like
Kamala
Walz a
over-
lot more. Well, you guys
Mitt
have
Romney,
the-
these
you guys
fucking-
hate Romney from the Trump perspective.
No,
'cause
no,
you
no.
opposed
I
him.
hate Mormons. They're my
Oh,
least
all right.
favorite
Well, that
religion.
makes sense. That makes sense.
Behind Muslims, they're my least favorite religion.
McCain, I didn't want to bring him up because you guys are young, but McCain would be the ultimate like a Republican I could vote for.
I never liked.
If-
No,
if
we
he
would have
wasn't
never got
running-
out of Iraq.
If
We would
he-
have never been. He would have fucking sent all our money there.
Bro, I mean, the year that he
Obama
ran,
did it.
well, yeah,
Somewhat.
but the year that he ran, whatever, it was still we were still in Iraq
Yeah, I mean,
for
you're
15
right.
years. So
I would have rathered him than that fucking nit. But I
I wish that they had run McCain when they had run Mitt Romney.
Yep, they
He
blew their
might have
load with
won.
him, though.
Right, they put the best dude up in an election where George W. Bush was so unpopular and the Iraq War was so
Yep.
unpopular. Any Republican was going to lose that election, and they put the best Republican up.
absolutely. I feel
And
the
it's-
exact.
and
And that's
I-
an indictment of what a piece of shit Bush was.
And I think that now that's cool because the DNC was so shitty against Bernie. But I feel like if you look at it that way, the RNC fucked over people in the middle just as much as the DNC did by in the McCain thing. Like,
True.
That's when you put up Trump against Obama when you know Trump was different. I won't even bring
A
him into
Trump-Obama debate would be the greatest night of my life.
that would be as political theater. That would be incredible.
as television.
Yeah,
forget
agreed.
about that would be the most fucking viewed thing, and it's a goddamn shit. It's like Kobe and LeBron never meeting in the finals.
yeah,
Oh, he
you're
is like
right.
that.
You're right.
Or it's like Luke Kincaid and Brendan Smith never meeting in the Phillies' funniest finals.
I've never been to the finals. He's been there. He's better than
Right.
me.
Well, one of you
has
shit the
been.
bed. I
I like
us
Brendan.
to
I
pronounce
like
our
Brendan. Do
R's.
we
yeah,
not? Do we
yeah.
not?
Oh, I can pronounce ours hard enough for Brendan and me.
I like Brendan, but it's competitive.
I don't.
because He's been like
It's very successful.
Very successful.
Yeah, I
I
think
have
so.
him.
Yeah,
Well-
he's more successful than me. I had to get rid of. I
wouldn't say
detach
he is.
myself from that stuff.
yeah,
Oh, thank
I
you.
think you are.
Okay.
You went to LA. You went
Thank
to LA.
you. Thanks.
He opened for Jim Norton.
Who did?
Brendan Smith. That makes you wonder what he had to do to get that job.
Good point. Good point.
Man, I lost all respect for Jim Norton with that. That's fuck. Not that I respected him to begin with. He's one of the funniest comics there's ever been.
I like Norton from back when I was listening to like Opie and Anthony.
Yeah, I loved him on Opie.
That was why I still hold on to that Jim Norton, and
Me
I
too.
respect.
I'm
that
getting
from
off
him.
of Cumia. Cumia is like
I never liked
Kumi's
Cumia.
terrible.
Cumia is very funny, but his Twitter is just like, all right, dude.
Cumia is actually racist, and that ruins it for me.
Well, that's why I liked him.
Cumia's you do shit, but it's always in fun, right?
Also,
even when
I'm
you're
black.
pushing in the well, yeah, that too. But also, like, I don't ever really, even though you're gonna say, "Oh, I do mean it," I don't really actually believe that you mean.
You think this is
most of the shit
satire,
that you say.
Dan?
Yes, I do.
You think this is satire? No, I fuck 17-year-old girls.
Cumia is not satire. Sometimes he'll try it, but when he isn't, it's like a Cosby thing. It ruins the whole fucking thing because I've seen the.
And he just looks at Twitter and sees black people committing crime. It's like, yeah, Anthony, it's a world with 1 billion people in it.
Right.
There's gonna be black people
Eight
committing crime.
8 billion.
I think it was they did. It was.
That's just how many voted for Joe Biden in Ohio, and he lost.
And only 27% of
this
them
dude
were
did a takedown of Rogan's special. It was called Elephant's Graveyard, was like the channel, and he did a thing on it, and he made it like a good point, which this was against Rogan, but I feel it's the same way with a lot of these dudes, is that their experience with like the real world now, because they're always going from like hotel to club and so on and so forth, is watching like those dudes who roll cameras, they like roll slowly through Kensington.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's a dystopian look, but like that's not what it really looks like. That's like a couple
also
blocks.
Also, grandmom in South Dakota baked a pie. Like, that's also what happens, too. It's
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So these guys only see that like urban disaster porn,
Yeah.
and they think like,
And that gets all the retweets on Twitter. And all
right.
that shit. Yeah, it's
And so,
horrible.
although that is, of course, a huge fucking problem in the city, and
Yeah,
it's like
right.
shit that has to be dealt with, if that's what you think the city is, then you're going to end up with opinions like Anthony Cumia because
Yeah.
you're never out in the real world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're all a bunch of pussies. That's why I hate comedy. That's what turned me on comedy as I became an adult. All these guys are pussies in secret.
Yeah.
It's a goddamn shame.
Well, that kind of goes into that, like, you always praise, like, the comics always praise people, and they never have a bad word to say, and you never know where anyone stands on anyone
yeah,
else.
they're all fucking losers.
But then
They'll
you
shit
always
talk each
know,
other.
it's always know, like you've said a few people like that, you always know the names that everybody hates, because as soon as that person isn't there, or when a comic has hit their limit and they're ready to fucking start dishing, it's always like the same people that come up. So even those comics that are like, oh, so my thing is like whenever I bitch about a comic vaguely, someone will always DM you and be like, who are you talking about? Who are you talking about? My go-to line now is just whoever shot into your mind when you read the thing I wrote, that's who I was talking about. Because like to you,
Look at Dan
that
above
person
the
is
fray.
fucking no. It's just because it makes
You're
a
right.
better point. Because it's like if I
Yep.
go, this fucking hack doesn't belong where they're at. They only got there because whatever. They know how to fucking put a TikTok out there or whatever.
We're talking to you, Michael
You
Mack.
have, right, you have you have someone in your mind already, and that person is Brandon Dunbar. And
Joe G, that
I
fucking
lost respect
flamer.
for the scene is because, like, you try and get like trying to feature, trying to open for somebody or something like that, and you see people get that success, and you realize like, okay, I'm 25, that guy's 36, and his parents bought him an apartment in the center city,
Right.
and he's a barista. It's like,
Right.
all right, well then I'm doing way better in life than he is.
it should be unsurprising, even though I
we're
think
in the top 5% of people our age. It's all just fucking like losers.
Yeah.
It's waiters.
Yeah.
They're fucking not the waiters are losers, but they're losers who are waiters.
Yes.
Where they work at the Urban Skillet.
what the Urban Skillet.
Yeah, the one isn't that the place out in Kensington?
Maybe I worked at a restaurant called the Urban Skillet, so I thought you were thinking of me.
Oh, I didn't know
I was
that.
like, but in order for you to have done that, you would have had to have done like a deep dive into my old LinkedIn. So I
Yeah,
was like,
wonder-
are you? But that's not some shit that I would put past you, Otis. So at first I was like,
It wasn't me who did
are you
that.
fucking?
It wasn't
Are you
Otis
digging
that
into
did
my
it.
past?
It was fucking Julian Assange over here.
Yeah,
Remember-
you
you
did your
remember
research
that?
on me. Yes, I worked at the Urban Skillet.
No, you remember the time at the fucking Exton we were talking, and we go, Otis vaguely mentioned the Urban Skillet, and I was like, oh, don't say it. This is so mean. And I was thinking, have you? It goes, yeah, Luke looked up your LinkedIn. We found you worked at the Urban Skillet. I'm like, oh, why the fuck?
Well, it's all right.
Yeah.
The Urban Skillet was a hell of a restaurant. It was
Luke and Nikki
halal
Leaks.
fusion.
Here it is.
Nicky Leaks. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
going into it. He's going into hiding. And hey, this is Luke asking if he can hide in a fucking bungalow because
Yeah.
he's on the run internationally.
I'm Julian. I'm Julian Asante Samuel.
Yeah. How many fucking apostrophes you think Julian Assange would have if black spelled it?
Oh, black. Oh,
Yeah.
probably 17.
Assange would have it'd be like the Preel but faggier, and and it'd be
DePriel could be a black name. Dan really isn't a black
DePriel's a good
name.
first name.
Yeah, if you were like a Haitian or something,
DePriel
yeah,
Sanchez,
yeah,
DePriel,
Toussaint or
Jenkins.
something like
I
that.
just love that Creole shit.
I'm doing it for my niggas.
Oh, another earthquake.
I'm doing it for my niggas in H-Town.
I made a voodoo doll of you. I got a lock of your hair.
Oh, stir that pot faster, boys. This is the urban skillet. The Haitian
What
skillet.
do they
It's just
make at the
voodoo.
Urban Skillet?
What?
What do they make at the urban?
Grits.
The urban skillet no longer exists. It was a
for
halal.
drug.
It was owned by two Muslim guys. There you go. And it was a halal fusion restaurant. So we basically all of our
I've got a
food
urinate.
was halal. So if you were Muslim, religious Muslim, you knew you could eat there. But what we made was all like Asian Mexican fusion. So we made like a bulgogi cheesesteak, which was fucking amazing.
That sounds really good.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
We did this like weird like gochujang based like burrito, which was awesome. Like we did some good
Muslim
shit.
fusion with Korean food?
It
That's
was
fucking awesome.
It was actually I will go to bat for the Urban Skillet. I only got that job because I was working in TV and I hurt my knee and I couldn't work anymore.
Okay.
I couldn't carry shit. So I basically, and also when you work in television, you have to give yourself the promotions. People will call you up for the job you've been working,
Yeah.
but you go like, well, I've already worked a couple times at this other job. I'm only taking things like that.
Okay.
And just like the story of all my time in LA, I was calling up people and was like, I'm not PAing anymore. I've worked enough at this other job, or don't call me if you have this other thing. And people are like, okay, well, we just won't call you. So I didn't have any work.
Did PAing suck or is it fun? I tried. to get
You
into
should do
before.
it. Well, I don't know. Your knees are fucked up, so you might not enjoy it.
I would. I mean, I make pretty decent money now. So
I started it when I was 30. I worked an regular old office job and had
Yeah.
a normal life trajectory until I turned about 28, 29. Then when I was 30, I moved out to LA and I started working in TV. I was too old. I would say move out before you're 30 because people will judge you. You're working as a PA and people are like, you must be a fucking idiot to be doing this job at 30. But if you're in your
cares what they
20s,
think?
people.
Fuck them.
Well, I didn't, except for that it matters
Well, no, that's
to
why-
how you get hired
Well, no, that's
again.
why
What
I fell
matters?
with the Eagles
When you
job.
work gig work in LA, you work on TV
Black
shows and
Lives.
stuff. Oh yes,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
That's probably exactly how I
mijo,
felt working at the
mijo,
Eagles, though.
mijo,
You're
when I
overworked and underpaid.
Exactly. Oh, totally. And yeah, that's the other thing. You're working 12-hour days. You when you calculate it out, you're getting a day rate, but when you divide it out, you're making less than minimum wage.
Yep.
And it's just exhausting.
80 hours of work, $325.
And you have to kiss ass and suck dick to get your next job all the time, and it's
Yeah.
just a big
Oh, it's
pain in the ass.
horrible. Yeah.
So I ended up working for New York companies that would come out to LA because they were much easier to work for. And between then, I would work at the Urban Skillet. It was a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Kept me doing comedy for a while. That was when I was grinding. I was doing like 5 mics a night.
Oh yeah, those days are over for me.
I don't do one mic
Five
a week.
night, Jesus.
Well,
Oh, no, 5
5
a
a night.
night? I thought you said 5 a
No,
week.
I should have said 5 a night might have been selling it. You could do 5 a night. I was doing about 3 a
Does
night.
that make you successful doing that many a night?
what you get out of it is
spots?
you work
Scene.
that too, but
That's
you also
okay.
work on it. You work on a bit. You can go a lot faster.
Yeah.
Because you come off the stage one, like anytime you get off stage the first time, looking back and going, I know I could have delivered this better. Or once I was on stage and bombed with this riff, I now realize what I could have said to make it good. And not having to wait a day or a week to address that makes everything move faster.
Gotcha.
Because then it's like, okay, I have a joke, 3 lines work, and 1 line really doesn't work to the point where it blows the whole joke up.
Yeah.
I can go work on that 1 line 4 times, 3 times in one night in different rooms in front of mostly different people and kind of get, and you know, as you travel with your friends, so your friends will see that every iteration of it, and they might be able to give you
What was
some
the most you
tips.
ever done in a night? Most? I think most.
Well,
of it is
in New
3.
York, I've done like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, New York, it's easier. LA, because you have to drive physically.
VJ he knows everything there. Him, Jad, they're great guys.
Nice. Yeah, very good.
Jad
very
opened
good
up a
dudes.
comedy club.
I saw that. I
Yeah.
saw that. We love Jad. Folks!
Folks, we love the.
We love
Comedy
Jad.
Club.
No,
love
we Jad and I have a joke of an empowered woman in 2024.
Okay.
Folks,
I was raped.
and
It was one of the bad rapes.
if you don't laugh at my
jokes.
jokes.
It's like it's raping me again. I hear that. I hear nigger, and I hear I'm trans. I hear that probably 45 times each a day.
Oh,
yeah,
Luke,
but you call me on the phone.
Luke, what are you talking about? Hey, Luke, we gonna go up in the VR. We gonna do a
Do
little
you know
comedy.
who this of?
It's not Bill Clinton. It's Eppolite Lavelle.
Oh,
We're at an hour 24.
Oh, I love Hillary.
So we can end it if we want to.
All right. Well, before we go, we should have been doing this the whole show. This Friday, Luke's taking over at the Animated Brewing.
he
This
is.
guy, yeah.
He
In
is.
Parksburg.
Never say I'm not a friend of blacks or Republicans.
Can
I've
we do
given
Black
you.
Christmas again this year?
I'll ask them. I'll see
What
what,
do
I
you
can
mean?
do.
I'll ask them. Just book us all in December.
Well, I don't. Yeah, you're right. If I'm doing the show in December, then I will. They cancel it on the holidays now. But if I am doing one in December, it will be a Black Christmas. You guys will be there, of course.
Okay.
I
And
got
then,
this nigga on
what
the
else-
spot.
what else?
This Friday, Animated Brewing. I'm
Shit,
on it. Luke's on it.
put me on the spot booking a show for 5 months from now. I don't book these shows like
Just Todd
1
booked
month
me,
out.
booked me for it this September 21st, 8 months ago.
Yeah, some producers will book you
Yeah.
well
I
in
love
advance.
Just Todd.
Love Just Todd. I have. Do you have anything to plug?
No, I don't do. I
Weekday
barely.
comics?
Yeah. Well, listen to the Weekday Comics podcast on Drop Tent Media. We're live.
I'm Neil Wood. Here we are.
We are
I'm
live.
Herpes. I'm Neil Wood.
We are live every Tuesday at 8. We talk about the news. Me and Dave Permiano, friend of the show.
Yes.
He's legitimately a great guy. So is Dan. Two of the funniest people.
Do you have any dates?
Yeah, I'm hosting 13 this week, 9-year anniversary. Me and Joe G hosting. Then this Friday, I'm on the aforementioned Animated Brewing show. Then Saturday, I'm at Jello Wrestling at Bar 13.
Nice.
I'm running the animated show. I have a bunch of dates.
Luke only asked me because he wanted to flex all his
Of
dates.
course, I have five. I have 5 dates in September.
Whoa!
I
Look
wasn't
at you.
booked, but I'll say
You
that
can make one of those headshots with all your dates on both sides of
I
it.
made a fake one time. I'm just fake like a
Yeah.
fake
Yeah.
flyer for fake places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got laughed at.
Fucking
Well,
no. Fucking Jim Kelly said I got to come out and support.
Yeah, it's like you're all fake, dude. Calm
Yeah.
down.
Don't.
What a
Jim's.
fucking guy.
I love Jim.
I love Jim too, but that's so funny.
Folks, take care. Thank you again. Take care.
You know.
Because